17.29 million viewers tuned in to officially see Carol Pelletier turn from dishwasher to Terminator. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, and we are back with the Walking Dead reviews. It's season 5. It's been a while, but we're back. We're not stopping. We've got no mercy. We've got no sanctuary here. Let's get into it. We kick off the episode with where we left it last time in season 4, with basically Rick and everybody else screwed. They're trapped in a container, this train container, with nowhere to go. Right now, it's not looking good for Rick and his gang. They're humped.
No, they are looking humped, but we have to cast our eyes back to the past. We have a flashback with Gareth and the residents of Terminus, and it looks like originally there was a sanctuary, but then it got took over by bad men. Let me guess, bad white men who only wanted to rape the inhabitants here. And essentially what this is, we were human beings. We were trying to do something good, but they took over. Damn it. Right. I think you can have some sort of, you can relate to these guys, why they've turned bad, but is eating people really the answer to, a certain group coming in and raping and, torturing and beating up your group?
Yeah, wouldn't the right thing for these people to do would just be not to offer sanctuary?
Yeah.
Or at least vet people that they're bringing in?
Aye. I mean, I think that's what would have been the ideal thing, or just build walls around the place, take down all your signs, and then just live a happily ever life in your newly, decorated environment.
Yeah, you can't even argue that Gareth and his crew are just defending themselves because they're encouraging.
Rick's group didn't rape anyone.
They're encouraging. Rick's group almost got raped. They're encouraging people to actually come here. They're putting up signs. They're leading people to the sanctuary in order to try and kill them. So, I mean, I get it. We've seen the flashback. We can understand a little bit of maybe why Gareth and his people turned into the way they did, but I still can't really accept it. I can't justify it because they're taking out their frustrations on innocent people.
And we've seen later on there's teddy bears, stacks upon so what, they're eating kids as well. I'm not saying because you eat adults it's perfectly fine, but it's not. Yeah, a few of your members got raped, but here you are literally butchering, slicing kids' throats and fucking eating them. What happened to two wrongs don't make a right?
It would be interesting to see how they actually escaped and managed to overcome the bad people that had taken over the sanctuary. That potentially could have been a standalone episode, but we don't get it. What we do get, though, is a discussion with the group. Daryl confirms that Beth's alive. Not that Maggie really cares. She spent all her time trying to find Glenn. But it's good to know that her sister's still breathing.
She's still alive. She's been taken by a black car with a white cross on the back. We've got Rick in the back. He's sharpening this bit of wood with his pocket watch or whatever. You've got Abraham, what are we going to do, guys? He's lifting fucking iron. He's listening to Eugene talk a load of shite and he's fucking getting hard off it. And then we've just a bunch of other jobbers in here. Bob crying. Sasha looking like the xenomorph freak that she looks like. And what else is really going on at this point? We've just got a bunch of jobbers in here. Rick's been introduced to a bunch of people he doesn't know.
Yeah, we then get Rick, Daryl, Glenn, and Bob they're waiting on the attack, but they throw in a grenade, a smoke grenade. They then take out those 4 and they bring them to the slaughterhouse, and basically they're gagged, they're zip-tied, and they're going to be cracked over the back of the head with a baseball bat. They're going to have their throats slit, and then they're going to be left to bleed out, and then get chopped up into pieces, and then get eaten by Gareth.
How lovely.
His group.
We're reintroduced to Sam. Remember that man that got back in episode 4 of season 4 with Carol and Rick?
We're reintroduced to him for about 10 seconds. He kind of looks like the guy that played Stan in the Slim Shady video.
He does. Maybe it is.
But he gets wiped out, he gets killed, and then we just see them lined up, and Glenn's the first real person that we know that's going to die. They get to Glenn, but before they get to Glenn, what is this? What's going to happen? It was just Gareth comes in and he's asking for numbers. And I tell you what, I think they did a good job in this scene where they giving you the horror element. I thought they'd done a good job with the the camera shots and the.
It was gruesome. It was brutal. It reminded
the settings and the eeriness and.
I think when The Walking Dead wants to, there's no show like it that I've watched when it comes to this proper horror element, right? But.
What I would say is, though, right, up to this moment, I thought it was great. I think the show goes downhill. I think the episode goes downhill for here.
No, my problem is with this part, right? Obviously, we're keeping Rick's group alive. Gareth then threatens Bob's eye to Rick. He's like, I knew you had the bag, where is it? It's like, yeah, you're threatening to stab Bob in the eye. Rick's not going to exactly want Bob to get tortured here. I get that. But you've literally just fucking sliced 4 guys' throats open.
Yeah, it's not like if you tell Rick
where is the threat here?
Yeah, it's not like if you tell Rick where the bag is, they get to live. Rick's going to be thinking, here, whether I tell you where the bag is or whether I don't, Bob's either going to get his eye stabbed out or he's just going to get cracked in the back of the head with a baseball bat. And yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
No, this just doesn't make much sense to me, which doesn't make much sense to me either. Rick's like, there's rifles, there's handguns, there's a machete with a red handle, and that's what I'm going to use to kill you. Rick has this, like, fetish of telling people, like Negan, like Gareth,
Not today.
I'm gonna kill you, right? See at this situation.
See in real life, though, see you're like that. See, the person that's got you captive could just literally take a gun out and bang.
No, but...
And just end you right there.
No, they could, and that's...
So I don't know why you'd be this bullish.
That's what I don't like about this. It's clear plot armor, and I think it sums up a show that's based off a comic book. This is something you'd say in comic books. See, in the real world, you don't fucking say shit like this.
Yeah, especially when you're in a bad situation, you're vulnerable.
If Rick wants to turn around and say, go ahead, do your fucking worst, fair enough. That's, like Merle saying, I ain't gonna beg. Merle didn't say after his fingers got bit and he got fucking battered, he didn't go, I'm gonna kill you. Because he's fucked. He's outnumbered.
Yeah, he's not really in a position to be making that threat.
No.
But Rick does have the main character plot line, so of course he can kind of make any threat he wants. He knows he's gonna get his man sooner or later. But then we see Carol. She's with Tyrese. She tells Tyrese, you gotta look after the baby. I gotta go and do this. They also had some guy captured, so the guy was like out scouting and whatnot. He was talking about he wanted the hat. Carol then holds him at gunpoint, says that hat belongs to my friend, and she learns where they are. She then goes and she gets the bag of guns where Rick hid.
Yeah.
How would she know where those guns are?
Wait, no, she didn't.
So where'd she get this rocket launcher for?
Oh, sure, it was just a firework. He had them, Martin had them.
Oh, Jesus.
But no, my problem with this is, right, so Martin is a Terminus resident, of course. So there used to be good people till the bad guy showed up. And here he is, threatening, he calls out Tyrese for being too much of a good guy for this world, and here he is about to snap a baby's neck. What the fuck is Tyrese and this baby did to you to warrant this? I get it, they've captured you, but what's this kid did? I know you could say, well, he's using the baby to get the gun off Tyrese, but I think he still would have snapped the kid's neck.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Oh, these were really good people until some bad stuff happened to them. Bad stuff can happen to you, but I don't think it turns you into this.
No. Yeah, no, it doesn't. This is like the extreme. And
anyway,
then
Carol gets to Terminus. She puts this firework and she blows up like a big oil tanker, and it takes out like half the fence. Walkers start getting in. Carol covers herself in like walker blood.
This is just cringy though, because you can't aim a firework.
Yeah, but
fireworks you aim up in the air. You don't aim them, in front.
But she hit it. She hit it with perfection, like first attempt as well.
No, but if she's holding an RPG or a grenade launcher here,
the only thing she's ever held is the fucking sponge to wash the dishes. So I don't know how she
the green thing.
The scrubbing brush. I don't know how she done this, but whatever. The place blows up and Gareth's like, oh, what the hell was that? Gareth's going to go and check on it. He tells the two guys, look, this is your job. You stay here. You hold the ground. Gareth leaves, and then this gives Rick an opportunity to untie himself, and he fights back against the two butchers, so to speak, and they overpower them. And then Rick takes one down, stabs one. I think it was Glenn or Daryl that was going to like put him down like officially, and Rick says no, let him turn, and Rick just turns into like this fucking no nonsense. These guys are all going to pay Rick Grimes. No more officer friendly here.
I'm going to back Rick. I'm going to completely agree with Rick here. I think they've got to go this way because they're sick, and you see like all these bodies hung up like it's like a Jeepers Creepers lair, isn't it?
I was. All
these bodies hung up, torsos, legs, arms, fucking every part of the human anatomy, man, is in this warehouse.
So we then get the four trying to escape, but they have no weapons. They end up Rick grabs like a weapon off one of them, then shoots a bunch of others. These people then get bitten by zombies, and Rick now has like an M4 or something, a handgun. He gives the gun, I believe, to Bob. Doesn't trust Glenn to shoot. Glenn, you're not a good shot, buddy. Then they try and make their escape. Carol is still infiltrating Terminus. God knows how many people she's killed right now. She's got like some sort of like rifle scope. Where'd she get this gun from? I don't know. But she's like pure sniping people and just taking out so many members of Terminus. She then runs into Mary. Mary's like, what have you done? You know, you've destroyed this place. You brought it down. They get into a bit of a fight. Carol ends up winning, shoots Mary. Doesn't kill her though. She opens the door and allows more walkers to come in and have a little feast.
And the walkers don't acknowledge Carol. Even though she's standing there with a gun, she literally just opened the door. They completely go past her.
But she had some blood on her, so it's alright.
Yeah, we got back in the train car. Eugene explains, I used to be an engineer, harmful diseases to fight over harmful diseases. My team defies a system that would kill all humans on the planet, and I think I can reverse that and kill all the walkers. Yeehaw! Fucking Abraham's sitting there fucking lifting all the weights. Yeah, Eugene!
You know what? Eugene just said a bunch of nothing here.
Yeah, he did. And why has no one called him out on it?
Why does no one say, look, Eugene, you just ranted a load of shite. You spewed a bunch of nothing. Where's the proof? Why are we risking our life to get you to point fucking A to B and you don't know nothing? Like, you're just talking, you're trying to...
He's literally said here that the government's got a weapon of mass destruction that could kill all humans on the planet, and here, I might be able to reverse it. Like, what the fuck's... They've just accepted that. It's like, hold on, there's a weapon like that?
This is a flaw, though.
No, this is a flaw.
I mean, Abraham's given this guy his life.
It's just like, it's not even a case of he's saying here, if you get me to DC, I might be able to do something. He is pretty much guaranteeing if he gets to DC, we're cured.
Funny thing is, if they get to DC, this guy won't have a clue what he's doing.
No, he won't.
So his mission is to make sure they don't get to DC. We then see Rick's group. They turn up and they rescue everyone else from the train car.
They jump over the fence. Abraham barely gets over, but he's alright, he's alive.
And then they get into the woods and they're walking, and what's this? Carol's there. Carol looks at them. Daryl comes over, gives her a big hug. Then Rick's kind of like half happy to see her, but he also is the one that sent her away. There's the big reunion. Doesn't matter that she killed Karen and David. People don't care because Karen and David weren't real important characters.
This is a joke, though, right? She literally murdered 2 members of the group. Yes, not everyone knows, right? Rick knows. I think Daryl knows. Tyrese obviously knows. And I'm not buying, well, if Tyrese doesn't care, none of the group should care. No. I mean, she killed 2 members of your group. Like, you're led to believe that...
The group's supposed to be a family.
Yeah, that's what you're led to believe, though. And it's fucking... Like, say she killed Beth and Carl. What? Or Rick and Maggie just going to be alright with that? Oh, it's Carol. Let's hug her. No, I mean, it's ridiculous, man. Sucked. Also, Rick wanted to go back into Terminus and kill everyone. I agree with that, but again...
It's like, right, let's go up against the fences and we'll pick them all off, but Glenn and Daryl aren't too happy about that. They're like, nah, look, just let them go. Rosita thinks, nah, we did well just to get out of there. You're crazy. And Abraham's kind of like, yeah, you know what? That's not our fight, buddy.
Bunch of bottle jobs, man. I mean, I get it. You don't want to risk everyone's safety, but... What if they regroup and start eating people again? That's on you. That's on the group.
Although you could argue, no, the sanctuary's down. It's up in flames. While this was all happening, Therese did overpower Martin, by the way, and killed him after he threatened to kill Judith. So Tyrese showing that he can step up and he can take out somebody. When they get back to the cabin, Tyrese then tells Carol that he had to take him out. Originally, he told Carol that he threatened Judith, and Carol was going to go in and act tough woman and take him out herself, but Therese was like, explained that he'd done it. Rick and Carl were reunited with Judith. I guess it was a nice wee moment. Everyone else just kind of like stood around, so the only person that's still missing out the group really is Beth. We haven't really seen Beth yet.
Yeah, no idea where Beth is as of right now. But yeah, Abraham wants to tell Rick about his master plan, but no yet. We then go back to another flashback, and it's Gareth essentially telling Mary that you're either the butcher or the cattle. At this point, after what we've just seen this episode, the extent of all these crimes, I don't care what happened to them, man. Nothing's going to justify it, right? And then, Morgan. Morgan came out of nowhere. We watched this on Disney. I don't recall this, but I remember it, obviously.
Yeah, I think this might have been Could this have been a bonus scene or something,
It's a pretty big thing to miss it.
or have they taken it out? Could this be a bonus scene? Added footage?
I mean, it could be.
Because we didn't get this, but I do remember it happening. But when we watched it recently, we didn't get the Morgan scene. So yeah,
Yeah, so obviously it looks like a few months have passed since Rick changed the sign to No Sanctuary, obviously title this episode. So yeah, Morgan's back. He's on the trail, but I mean, this is just ridiculous. So season 5, episode 1 of The Walking Dead, and then there's another time skip because, like I said, it's overgrown here. But then in season 4, episode 1 of Fear, Morgan's meeting up with the Fear group. What the who came up with this timeline?
there would need to be an almighty time skip from season 3 to season 4 Fear for it to make any sense. But anyway, we're not going to judge Fear here. We're talking about The Walking Dead. And that's it. That's
A show that can actually get above a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that is the end of the episode. So No Sanctuary. Really enjoyed it. I thought the horror element at the beginning was really good. I liked the way the butcherers were killing people, cracking them in the back of the head, then slitting their throats, draining their blood. The slaughterhouse had a really good look to it, a really good vibe to it. Did feel like a horror movie. I do think the whole Carol thing, just being a one-woman Terminator taking down the entire sanctuary.
There was some Walker kills, by the way, with awful CGI and awful like deaths.
Yeah,
like, people
no, I mean,
like it was cringy.
Her single-handedly, like, rescuing the group with a fucking rocket, with a firework, you know, it's a bit lame.
Well, Tyrese is sitting playing Manny.
Yeah, it's like, what, shouldn't Tyrese be the one going to
No,
fucking rescue them?
I'm not even joking.
His sister's there.
See if this is like a yeah.
Shouldn't Tyrese be look, Carol, you're an old fucking woman, sit here in this cabin, hold on to Judith, I'm getting my hammer and I'm going in to fucking rescue them. But no, it has to be Carol, it has to be the woman, because she's a badass woman. I think Carol is the most ridiculous, unrealistic character I have ever seen ever in a television series.
Yep.
The fact that she went from some like old, frail, fragile, abused housewife that couldn't even stop her daughter from potentially getting sexually abused by her abusive father, and all of a sudden she puts down the fairy up liquid, she puts down the cleaning brushes, she puts down the gloves, and she starts picking up weapons and starts becoming this so-called badass that is capable of killing everybody and rescuing entire groups by taking out any faction on the planet. I believe she also has the 3rd most kills in Walking Dead history.
Cringe.
I think she's a terrible character. You know what, though? I thought this was a good episode. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I think
Carol takes like a few points off it.
Yeah, I would have gave it more. If it focused more on the first 10, 15 minutes when they were trapped in the train car, and you see Rick and he's banged up, he's a hostage. You can see the other people getting their throats slit. I really enjoyed that, and I think Gareth's a pretty good character. He comes across as this like really eerie, creepy guy that, you know, just doesn't care that they're killing people. It's just the whole Carol part for me.
It's fucking ridiculous. That's what it is.
I just can't buy it.
Like, I think when we talked about Morgan, let's just say Morgan saves him and not Carol. I think this episode is like, holy shit, how much better is that?
Yeah, it would have been better. But anyway, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I just have to take points off for the Carol scenes. It's ridiculous, and it's the fact she uses a fucking firework, man. And then also some of the Walker kills were beyond embarrassing. Like the CGI, like the person's face is getting it. It's awful. There was a guy who was just crawling about on the floor waiting for walkers to eat him as well. That one really annoyed me.
Plot purposes, like, you know, instead of trying to get up and run away or whatever, do something.
You know, you say plot purposes, but if this guy lives or dies, who gives a fuck?
Well, obviously the whole point was that he was to be there so he could get his face bitten off, like, but I don't know, it wasn't very good.
Anyway, 7 out of 10, No Sanctuary. Is season 5 underrated? We'll have to wait and see, but we've got that belter of an episode, Coda, with Beth and the police force in Atlanta. Looking forward to that, but until next time, peace.